Hello all. Alright, lots of bugs today. Warm, it's foggy but really nice out here in the state of California in the US. So let's talk about climate change. Let's talk about a climate update. Alright, from January through July of 2014 of this year, we had the third warmest period ever recorded on the planet. Let me show you a map that were cold, and that was half of the US and part of Russia and the upper part, northern part of Europe. The climate deniers want to tell us that Iceland is having its coldest year ever. Yet you look at this map and it doesn't show that, it shows it's the warmest. The difference between me and climate deniers is that I use peer-reviewed science, the best science you can get anywhere. It has to be duplicated by other people in a different way. The deniers keep coming up with this being so cold and all, but let's look at the facts. It's actually warmer, and because we're getting warmer and warmer, the climate is getting more extreme. So this year we've had 14 major climate disasters so far. Let's go through 1 through 4. The first one was a typhoon that hit China called Typhoon Ramasun. It killed 206 people this year in China. It was a Category 4 and the worst storm ever seen to hit China since record keeping, and they go quite a ways back. The cost to China was $6.5 billion in damage. Number 2, Japan, flooding. 95 people dead, $6.25 billion in damages. Russia, flooding, 80 people dead, $4.5 billion damage. And the last of the top 4 is Brazil with their extreme drought going on, $4.3 billion in crop damages alone, just in Brazil. So, as you know, Iceland and Greenland are right next to each other. Greenland's ice loss doubled since 2009 and is quickly losing ice much faster than anybody predicted. And then we have some very bizarre weather happenings just happening in the last couple weeks. In Mexico City, on the 19th of August, they had between 4 and 5 feet of hail fall in that city. So in Japan, they had yet another flash flood situation in Hiroshima, Japan, on the outskirts of the city. There are 36 dead from that landslide alone and 7 missing. So as you can see, there are lots and lots of landslides and severe rain and hail events happening throughout the world. Here in the US, just about 1,000 miles south of here, in Phoenix, yesterday they had torrential rains. Some of the amounts, by the way, that's a desert area, so they don't usually get this much rain, and of course all these amounts I'm telling you are setting that state's records since record keeping. Some of them are 3.5 to 5 inches of rain in just less than 2 hours. That's pretty extreme, and it caused immense flooding throughout the area, especially on the freeways. So regardless of what the deniers are telling us, and many of them are out there denying every single bit of climate change, saying that it has to do with sunspots. Well, of course, the new sunspot report came out, and it says that this is the lowest sunspot cycle we've had in several years. Well, that just means because sunspots are actually cooler areas on the sun, that the sun is actually hotter, not cooler. But in many cases the deniers get that confused. So the sun is at its highest heat peak now, which would also help explain some of the global climate change. But it only explains about 3% of it. The rest is all done by humans. So we really can't go without at least checking what the CO2 count in the atmosphere is. We've discussed CO2 in previous videos that explains what CO2 does and what it has to do with climate change. But let's go see what the official figures are. Okay, in July of 2013, it was at 397 parts per million from NOAA. And according to Scripps, July brought of 2013 brought 398.78 parts per million. The CO2 count is extremely important when it comes to climate change. As you know, this number goes up and down depending on the season around the world. But in the all scheme of things, it's all going up. Remember, 350 parts per million used to be the emergency number. We didn't want it to go past there. It's gone way past there and is now up into the 400s most of the time. This is the first time we've seen it dip down into the 300s, where it usually goes down a ways during the off season and then comes back up again during spring. So the CO2 count is steadily rising, and as you know, the higher it gets, the worse our weather is going to get. So I like to be accurate, as you know, and if you guys have anything more to add to it or something different than what I'm telling you, please give a link and explanation. And I appreciate all the ups and the downs and the subscriptions. Anything else especially the comments. I really like comments because it really helps the video. Down below is a video of some more extreme weather that we're seeing locally and worldwide. So until next time.